place, so the governor can be able to promptly, effectively act within the framework of those policies. Then we have the Garissa County Livestock Marketing Bill. The economic mainstay of this county is livestock, and therefore definitely when we have proper policies, the bills in place, the laws in place, then we'll be able now to harness that economic opportunity effectively. The objective of the bill is to promote and coordinate participation of local communities, facilitate proper management of livestock products marketing facilities, improve revenue collection and management for livestock marketing facilities. Then we have also the Garissa County Climate Change Bill. We know that we have a number of climate shocks, climate-induced migration, climate-induced challenges. And therefore, the object of this bill also is to enhance climate resilience through development of appropriate legal and institutional framework for integrating and mainstreaming climate change responses, measures and actions into county development plan. The governor needs to have that in place, the bill in place, so that he's able to mainstream climate-induced challenges in his CIDP. Then we have also making sure that processes and climate change finances mechanisms. So he needs to have the bills in place. The Garissa County Rangeland Management Bill 2024. The purpose of this bill is to facilitate sustainable and holistic management of rangelands and rangeland resources through strengthening customary mechanism for grazing control and management, facilitate community peace building, regulations of fencing in rangeland areas, and protection of seasonal rangeland reserves. We also have the Garissa County Public Participation Bill. The place of public participation, the voice of the people, as entrenched in the Constitution. Therefore, we need to have a mechanism of what a public participation means. We have seen a lot of challenges even at the national level where laws are challenged for lack of public participation. And therefore, as a county, we need to have a proper legislative in place to ensure that the object and purpose of this bill is to provide a framework for the involvement of the public, that's the people, in the process of making decisions in their priorities. Therefore, we need to have a mechanism in place. Challenges that we face if you allow me, sir. Yes. The place of the assembly in governance is not well understood by most development partners as a separate arm of county government. So I'm glad, very honored, that today we are placed on the table with His Excellency the Governor, that the two arms of government are on the table here with development partners, the government of Kenya, the presidency here, that we are discussing matters of development for Garissa County as the two arms, because the two arms are interdependent, and therefore it's important that both of them are speaking from the same script in terms of empowerment and all that. The County Assembly is established in the Constitution, as I said, 2010, and Article 176(1) and Article 185, with the responsibility to represent the voices of communities, oversight the implementation of approved community priorities by the executive, and to legislate county-driven legislative frameworks. So that is the first mandate of these people. And therefore, we have a resource constraint now in that. Again, another one is resource constraint with a shrinking basket, definitely from the exchequer. Definitely, we have a number of issues that are not able. These members are supposed to travel every corner of this county to oversight and see what has been implemented by the executive. That is the oversight role.
How many kilometers?
I think you can. 50? No, I mean we have got 30 wards as far as Liboy and Hulugo.
About 300 kilometers.
Yes, about 300 kilometers. So it's a resource-intensive exercise, oversighting, and that definitely, as an assembly, recently, if I may speak to the presidency, recently, you know what happens? The Senate. At the Senate, we have lost huge amounts of money. Assemblies have lost money through the CARA 2024 Act, and therefore that's another challenge, compounding already what we are facing. Therefore, another thing is the need for capacity injection through technical assistance in key sectoral committees: education, health, livelihood, peace, and cohesion, just to mention a few. We have got committees on peace and cohesion, integration, and I'm sure now with the Integration Act coming into place soon, the committee needs to be empowered to understand what this is. The Committee on Peace and Cohesion needs to have the requisite capacity and skills to be able to mediate community conflict, mitigate all these issues. Therefore, The assembly also lacks a resource center. Very important. An institution of learning without a resource center is as good as, I don't know what to say. Therefore, the assembly looks today from where I sit. If as a speaker I'm asked what is your number one priority, I would say a well established, with the right resources as a resource center, where the members of the assembly can be able to do the research, where the members of the technical staff, the secretariat, the researchers, and all these things. Therefore, the assembly lacks this resource center, which can be used as a platform to enrich the leadership and the secretariat with the knowledge on the emerging legislative frameworks. Legislation, unlike other things, is an evolving matter. Every day new issues come up. Therefore, the members need to have a resource center like a library with the digital technology, where they are able to be able to enrich on this. So engaging with the constituents when forming new policies now. Assembly works through committees, and upon receiving the legislative proposal from the executive or even from the members themselves, we have got the private bill and we have got the legislative bill, which comes in terms of proposal, is committed to the respective committees. The committee will do the public engagements, dissecting the proposal for the public to understand better on the contents. This is public participation now. Following the enactment of the new constitution, the aspect of citizen engagement was anchored in the constitution pursuant to Article 1. In this regard, Assembly does public participation using the following forms. So we reach the public. How? Visiting the wards. We have got ward-based public participation. So if an issue has to be subjected to public participation, we have the ward-based. And I say, through mainstream media and online platforms. So apart from the visiting, we also have the media, both online and the mainstream. And I'm sure now with that, if the constitution envisages us to do public participation effectively, visiting the wards, the 30 wards, that now comes with the implication of resources. The citizens can also petition the assembly on matters of governance and service delivery. We have also amended our standing orders. I hope the staff will bring me copies of standing orders here. We have the standing orders, which is our constitution and assembly. Therefore, to ensure that, actually we were ahead of even the integration plan, the Sharika plan, I think, although we have not been involved properly as an assembly. We have our issue there. The Sharika plan has not been effectively entrenched in the assembly. We have not been involved as such, and that's a discussion probably for another day. This is our standing order, where we have even entrenched here a petition from the refugees. Now refugees can be able to bring their concerns and the petitions to the assembly. Yes, because that is in tandem with the Act, 2021 Act. Yes, of refugee integration. So we have got here one of the schedules here. We have got that.
And have they already come?
No, we will require this sensitization, because already they cannot come because the members of the assembly have not been properly sensitized on their engagement with the refugees. So there is a weak link.
It's in theory.
It's in theory, yes.
Yeah.
There are opportunities for strengthening positive changes within the communities. Yeah. If you look at page 196 of the standing orders here, we have got the inclusion of the refugee aspect, where they can be able to come and present the petition to the assembly. Now, we are looking forward to, if I may look forward of what I expect to do as a speaker in this assembly, we wish to have what we call Bunga Mashinani. Bunga Mashinani is taking this assembly to the world, where not everybody has an opportunity to follow our discussions and our plenary discussions and the committee work from their TVs or from the print media. And therefore, we want to take the assemblies to the grassroots, so the members now can be able to debate while in, let's say, in Modogashe, in Dadaab, on the whatever. Strengthen capacity of the assembly members and the secretariat. Youth Bunge, Honorable Hussein there, the member from township, is a champion of youth Bunge. YMCA, Kenya Young MCS, members of county assemblies. Therefore, we hosted one time here. We have got Youth Bunge, whereby the youth of Garissa County have elected themselves as representatives of the youth voices across the sub-counties. Therefore, we brought them here, we have trained them, and therefore they partake in our discussions. Once in a while, they get the opportunity to come, and therefore they discuss actually the matters affecting youth from our assembly here. Then the United Kingdom is the home of parliamentary norms and practices globally. I always refer to the Westminster, I refer to the legislative traditions, precedences of the Common House, Commonwealth traditions, when I'm making rulings as a speaker. Therefore, I also need to speak from an informed position. What am I coming to? I'm coming to with a request that a linkage to Westminster to the much needed coaching, learning, and best practices to strengthen my legislative mandate. Not only myself, but with my members. And then conduct also regular mentorship dialogue sessions for the aspiring local leaders to articulate the spirit of servant leadership. This will be in partnership with our local learning institutions such as Garissa University. I also want to do that we want to have mentorship and coaching within our local institutions, whereby we induce this leadership so that we have got university graduates who understand what representation, oversight, and legislation mean even before they aspire to become politicians. So this is what I aspire. And finally, 80% of this assembly are youthful.
Really?
Yes, I must mention that.
Youthful.
Youthful in the age of less under 35.
Yeah.
Under 35, led by Honorable Hussein there as the youth MCA, youth police. So in that aspect, definitely you know the role of youth in development and space of peace and cohesion. Another thing is that 16 members of my assembly are women. But by virtue of nomination,
How many?
total we have got 46 members.
46.
Yes, there were 48 actually by law, but we lost 2 through either petition or natural attrition. But we have got 46 currently. Out of all the 46, 16 are women nominated, and you know what that means. With of course chair's position, we have empowered them. You know, despite being nominated, we still give them a position of a chair of a committee like Women and Affairs. We have the Women Caucus, lands and all that. However, my point here is that we also need to capacity. You give them the capacity, the mentorship, the coaching, so that next time they graduate from nomination to elective positions. Yeah, and that can only come if we build the capacity within the Women Caucus. And finally, I don't need to forget the Madenge menace. You know the Madenge, is it called Juliporus? Yes, this Madenge is known by everybody, I think. This is a menace in Garissa County. I know the governor is trying hard to ensure that something is done. Very innovative ideas are coming up in terms of managing, but we also have the Madenge bill actually, whereby we want to ensure that there is proper legislation in place. He has employed, I know, people to manually, do the Madenge uprooting, but that's not enough. We want to ensure that it's done scientifically. The Madenge is now turned from a menace to something, an opportunity for fodder and all that.
That's the Madenge.
Yes, maybe I will leave it to the speaker and to the governor on that Madenge thing.
I have a PhD because it has cost me a lot of time. I think we were together one time in Geneva. Actually, I made a full-blown presentation in Geneva on that one. It's as he says, he rightly says, it's indeed a menace. It's a weed, it's an aggressive weed.
That goes to maize, to corn.
It grows wherever there is water, wherever it can find the water, even if it's small water. It grows there and it expands very fast. It's also even further expanded by the animals when they eat it.
Okay.
So it's really everywhere in this country. In fact, our farming potential has been completely destroyed along the river. What you see mainly as green along the river, actually it's that's the
And it
Largely.
cannot be eaten by animals for the forest.
If they have to eat, those eat actually do more by even
yeah.
dispersing it.
Actually, it's part of the dispersal.
Dispersal. So basically, what we are trying to do now is, and this is one of the suggestions I had, Steve, Dr. I think
Yes, I'm just looking it up.
you see, in my presentation, what we were saying is, for instance, in the Dab and Fafi, where we have the refugees, my presentation was saying, can we actually convert that, we cut that wood through whatever ways, and we convert it to charcoal bricks, exactly. So that it can be used by the refugees as an alternative to cutting the other, indigenous trees. That's the whole idea. So, but it's a process that actually is being tried in other places, and also is one that also I want to implement myself again. Of course, definitely with the support required.
On that note, I think we finished.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can see we are being pressured for time.
Time, I know, yes.
But I think you have done well.